Hello and welcome back to me chatting shit as my Dungeons and Dragons characters. To start off, I'm gonna do my Furbolg Twilight Cleric, Reyna Casmora, also known as Reyna the Groan. Um, yeah. To do a voice as a character, you need to appeal to all ages and all audience sizes. I actually don't have any lines planned, but I really wanted to improvise a lot because that's what D&D's really all about, is improvisation. And so, as you can tell, I'm using an American voice, but more of a deep, kind of hushed tone to show how relaxed and how not really bothered I am, but you can tell that I'm still ready for a fight and ready to be loyal to my cause and all that good stuff. So that's Reyna Casmora, my Furbolg Twilight Cleric. I keep trying to say Tiefling. Then we have my Protector Asimar, Bard / Paladin. I completely ruined her. She was my first ever character in our campaign. I kind of ruined her stats and everything, but we'll keep her as a Bard Paladin for now. She was my first character, so I kind of spoke in my voice, because I was very nervous around everyone. So it's going to kind of be more of a. It was more of a voice like this. It was very much in my tone, but more hushed and understandable. But also, when I get into an argument, I get into an argument. Like, there is no ifs, buts, maybes. That can't happen. This needs to go this way. It's very similar to my voice, but it's more focused and hushed, as if she's kind of unsure about whether she's saying the right thing at times, and whether she should be speaking at this moment. Like I said, I really did want to do a really good voice with her, but I didn't plan it very well because it's my first character, but I still love her, so. Yes, who else do we have? So I have a wizard high elf, Elif Torve. I don't think I actually had a voice for her. I think I might have tried to do something really American, for her, but I think it was more my voice, my main voice, so just sort of a really, I can't think of any lines to say. I think one of the key points was when she was being threatened, and if any of her party members said a word, then she'd be killed. It's a very long story, but she was very like, don't any of you say anything. My dog just moved. Don't any of you say anything. My head is on the line. I'm not gonna let this happen. Kind of thing. We're not gonna focus on that because it was really just my voice, and I'm making stuff up at this point. And onto my new one, my favorite one. My goblin, who I've got to try and remember how to get into the voice. So we go very cockney, and then we go very high up. Very cockney, but you don't really understand what's going on half the time. She's not an idiot, so I completely forgot to introduce her as well. So I'm playing Z, who is a goblin artificer set in a Fallout world where goblins are really mutated dwarves. And so she was a very, very skilled treasure hunter back in her day, but now she's mutated into this dwarf, lost both her legs. It's a very long story. But that's my goblin character. I'm still working on that. I also have another character that I played last night. She is a drow warlock. So in the Great Old One, she saw someone called the Observer. It's a long story about patron and stuff. But I think I played her a lot like this. I was planning to play her very naive and very young and kind-hearted, but I ended up really playing her really annoyed with everything. Fine, let's go this way. Okay. I've been unconscious for 3 weeks. kind of very, still very stubborn, very naive, because she's young and exploring the world for the first time. So she's very not sure how to deal with social interactions and still that kind of thing. That's it. I've literally had one session with her, so that's still going strong. I think that's all of them. Question mark? I have no idea. There are a couple other voices I really, really, really would like to use in characters. Maybe something really high-pitched and really kind and really in the soul and really sweet, but not childlike. Really very sweet, very kind. Maybe a gnome or a dwarf, or I can't think of any other good races. Maybe a wood elf? Something really sweet and kind. I do plan on playing a dwarf at some point, which would be really nice to use this voice. I don't know. It's a very cutesy voice. And also, I do have a character called Joan the Giant Slayer. She is a Goliath barbarian. I don't have a voice for her yet, so let's make one together. So a Goliath. She's going to be very big, very, very buff, but also her knowledge in speaking common and knowing a lot about commoners and what they do is going to be very, very not much at all. So she's going to be very much like, no, that sounds really educated. Very much like this. Something really bold and not stupid. I'm not an idiot. I have hunted giants bigger than you. Really aggressive, but very calm. You can tell she's not interested. She doesn't care about anything that anyone else is doing. All she wants to do is hunt her giants, prove that she is strong and heroic. Because that's actually her backstory. Is she's a folk hero. She was this big giant that appeared over the hills and started to slay all the giants in the land that were terrorizing these villages, and she became known as Joan the Giant Slayer. So she's very heroic, but very deep in her voice because she is so big. And I'm doing a gesture of my arms you cannot see right now, but it's very big. Yes, I'm Joan the Giant Slayer. I really do not understand a lot of what you're doing, but I'll go with it. I don't want her to be entirely stupid. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going this way, I don't understand a lot. I don't want to dumb her down like that. Like you get a lot of, like, orc characters and stuff, and some Goliaths that, people dumb them down a lot. I don't want her to be too dumb. I want her to be just oblivious to common culture. So, very oblivious to common culture. I trust my own cultures. I trust my greatsword and my bow. I don't trust men. That kind of thing. But sadly, I don't think I'm ever going to play her. I think she was just a backup that I kind of abandoned, which is a bit bad, because that's a bit naughty. I just realised as well, sorry, this is going on for ages. I just realised as well, I was talking about doing that voice, the really cutesy, really nice voice that is really sweet, but really kind. And I actually have a character that would fit it. It's another backup character called Kindle Mirtwood. She is a halfling druid who likes to turn into a giant weasel. She's a thief, she's a pickpocket, she's really dirty, she's horrible, she's not horrible, she helps people. She's a bit like Robin Hood. She'll steal, but she'll give to charities and stuff. So she could really talk like a little bit higher up. Maybe something along this line. Something really intriguing, really interesting, but also slightly cheeky. Cheeky breaky. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So, yeah, something like that. Seeing as I've gone on for 10 minutes and no one's going to watch this whole thing, yeah. If you have watched it all, thanks. It's just me messing around with voices. Yes. Voices. Yes. I have so many voices I want to do for characters, but I just can't. I can't make enough characters. I mean, I could. I could make so many more characters. Anyway, thanks for listening, I guess.